Now, don't get us wrong, there is nothing wrong with bodybuilding. The opposite, in fact. It's important to look after yourself and stay in shape. But some people pushed it so far, they wound up looking like they were drawn by Jack Kirby himself. These are the 20 strongest people who took it too far.
Number 20. Mike Matarazzo. Mike Matarazzo was a force to be reckoned with in the world of bodybuilding. He was known for his massive size and incredible strength, which made him a fierce competitor on the stage. Matarazzo was a true bodybuilding icon, having won numerous championships and awards throughout his career. His journey in bodybuilding began in the late 1980s when he started competing in local contests. He quickly rose through the ranks and eventually won the 1989 Gold's Gym Classic in Massachusetts. From there, Matarazzo went on to compete in several high-profile competitions, including the Arnold Classic and the Mr. Olympia in 1991. However, Matarazzo's dedication to bodybuilding eventually took its toll on his health. He pushed his body to the limit with intense training and a strict diet, which led to numerous health problems. After undergoing open heart surgery on December the 8th, 2004, to repair his clogged arteries, Mike Matarazzo was forced to retire from competitive bodybuilding. Unfortunately, his cardiac-related problems did not end there. On November the 8th, 2007, he suffered a heart attack, which was his second since his initial surgery. In August 2014, Matarazzo found himself in the intense care unit of Stanford Hospital in Palo Alto as he continued to face heart complications. Despite his strong will and determination, he passed away on August 16th at the age of 48 while waiting for a heart transplant.
Now, it's time for the odd topic. This man is so strong, no one can beat him. Because this man is the IFBB professional bodybuilder, Justin Compton. Also a sponsored athlete, he's been lifting weight since he was a mere 15 years old. I don't know about you, but when I was that age, I was most definitely not looking after myself. In recent years, he has risen to major prominence as both a dedicated bodybuilder who could give the Terminator himself a run for his money, and as a professional weightlifter. Now 35 years old, he's been entering and winning competitions at a pro level since 2012. Of course he has. Look at him. Each of his legs is bigger than Hugh Jackman's entire body. Eating a 6-ounce steak and a 10-ounce steak every single day, this is a dude who takes bodybuilding insanely seriously. As always, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below using the hashtag #OddTopic.
Number 19. Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw is a true powerhouse of a man, known for his impressive feats of strength and towering stature. Standing at 6'8" and weighing in at over 400 pounds, he has dominated the world of strongman competitions for years. With a career spanning more than a decade, Shaw has won numerous titles and accolades, including 4 World Strongest Man Championships, 3 Arnold Strongman Classic Championships, and countless other strongman competitions. He is widely regarded as one of the strongest men to have ever lived, with feats such as deadlifting 1,128 pounds and pulling an 80,000-pound fire truck. However, Shaw's obsession with strength and winning competitions may have come at a cost. In 2015, he suffered a ruptured biceps tendon while training, which put him out of commission for several months. This injury humbled him and reminded him of the toll that intense physical training can take on the body, even for someone as seemingly invincible as Shaw. Despite this setback, Shaw has continued to push himself to new heights of strength and has even diversified his career, branching out into content creation and entrepreneurship. It just goes to show all the incredible things that can be achieved through hard work and dedication. But it's equally important to have some balance and take care of oneself. Oh, and make sure to subscribe and like the channel, or Brian Shaw might just pay you a visit. And you wouldn't want to say no to those muscles of his, am I right? Number 18. Andy Bolton. Andy Bolton is a British powerlifter who has made a name for himself as one of the world's strongest men on the planet. He is known for his incredible strength and his impressive feats of powerlifting. In 2006, Bolton set a new world record in the deadlift, lifting an incredible 1,009 pounds. This feat made him the first man in history to break the mythical 1,000-pound deadlift barrier. Not too shabby. This man made sports history, ladies and gents. Throughout his career, Bolton has won numerous championships and awards in the world of powerlifting. He has won multiple World Powerlifting Championships and has been named the world's strongest man on several occasions, as well as having 7 WPC World Championship titles and 2 WPO Championship titles. This guy is not messing around. Oh, and he is also one of only 5 men to squat over 1,200 pounds. In other words, Bolton was gifted with raw strength that is hands down undeniable, but he is also a workaholic and the sum of over 20 years of arduous research and army-like methodology that formed this endless pursuit to be the strongest man ever to lift a barbell. Needless to say, his hard work paid off. Number 17. Brian Siders. Prepare to be amazed by the legendary powerlifter Brian Cameron Siders, who was born on September 11th, 1978 in the USA. With a body built like a fortress, Brian is known as one of the strongest men to have ever walked the earth, especially in press movements. He's a world champion powerlifter and a regular participant in the Arnold Strongman Classic, which should give you a hint of the strength that he possesses. Brian started his journey to become a powerlifter back in high school. At first, he was mainly focused on training his bench press and upper body, but in the winter of 1997, he shifted his focus to squatting and deadlifting.
You stabilize the wheels. Oh my!
His dedication and hard work paid off, and in 1998, he started competing in full powerlifting meets. Brian takes his strength seriously and trains 6 to 7 days per week, up to 4 hours at a time in the gym he built at his own home. His strength is awe-inspiring, and he has set numerous powerlifting world records, including a total of 2,452 pounds at the 2004 USAPL Senior National Championships, and another world record total of 2,529 pounds at the 2004 IPF World Championships. Despite his incredible feats of strength, Brian also took it too far and suffered from multiple injuries. Nonetheless, his spirit remains unbreakable, and he continues to inspire powerlifters and fitness enthusiasts around the world. Number 16. Mustafa Ismail. Meet Mustafa Ismail, the real-life Popeye with biceps that could give a grown man's waist a run for its money. At just 24 years old, Ismail's biceps have a circumference of 31 inches, a feat that earned him the title of the world's largest biceps by Guinness World Records. But with such an impressive size comes speculation about how he achieved it. Ismail claimed it's through sheer hard work and pumping iron twice a day religiously, but skeptics question whether performance-enhancing drugs played a role. And at this point, there are more skeptics than believers out there. Is-levers? Is that a thing? In any case, Guinness World Record is now reviewing Ismail's title and is conducting new research with medical professionals to ensure fairness in the category of largest biceps. But despite the doubt, Ismail stands by his dedication to work hard and maintains that his bulging biceps are a result of consistent training. Born in Egypt, Ismail moved to the US in 2007 and began his journey towards becoming the real-life Popeye. He started weight training at the age of 10, but only started focusing on building his biceps in his early 20s. While some may raise eyebrows at his impressive size, there's no denying that Ismail's dedication to fitness and strength is truly remarkable. Number 15. Paul Dillett. Paul Dillett is no ordinary athlete. Born in Montreal to a French father and Jamaican mother, Dillett first played Canadian football before making his way to professional bodybuilding. His success in the sport began when he secured second place in the heavyweight division of the 1991 North American Championships. Dillett continued to push his limits, and in 1993 he competed in his first Mr. Olympia, placing 6th no less. The same year, he participated in the Ironman Pro Invitational, where he secured a 4th place spot, Dillett continued his winning streak by placing first in the Night of Championships competition in 1999. Dillett's journey wasn't always smooth sailing. At the Arnold Classic in 1994, he froze on stage due to dehydration. No, really. He literally froze up there. It took 4 officials to carry him off the stage. It looked like there was a glimpse in the Matrix. Despite this very public setback, he continued his career until 2012. However, the industry belies that he never quite mastered his posing routines. Dillett went on to found the World Beauty Fitness and Fashion Competition in 2007. The competition judged one's overall beauty and marketability, including stage presence, not just physique. Contestants, both amateurs and professionals, compete in various categories such as men's bodybuilding pro, muscle model, fitness model, women's figure pro, diva fitness model, and diva bikini model. Number 14. Mateusz Kielisowski. Have you ever heard of Mateusz Kielisowski? This Polish strongman is no stranger to winning competitions. In fact, he's won so many trophies that he probably needs to build a new house just to store them all. Mateusz has always been interested in strength sports, but it wasn't until he participated in a strongman competition organized by his friend at the age of 17 that he knew it was his calling. He won his first major competition in 2014, the Arnold Amateur Competition, which allowed him to compete in the Professional Arnold Strongman Classic the following year. From there, Mateusz's success continued to grow. He's a 2-time runner-up in the World's Strongest Man competition, as well as a 2-time Arnold Strongman Classic runner-up and Europe's Strongest Man runner-up. He's also set world records in the circus dumbbell and sire dumbbell press, as well as several other strongman events. However, like many athletes, Mateusz took it a bit too far and suffered a triceps injury that kept him out of competition for a while. But he didn't let that stop him. After healing up, he came back strong and competed in the World's Ultimate Strongman and the Rogue Invitational, placing 2nd and 4th respectively. Not too bad, huh? And just recently, after a 3-year absence, Mateusz made his return to the Arnold Strongman Classic competition, finishing in 2nd place. With his immense strength and determination, it's safe to say that Mateusz is a force to be reckoned with in the world of strongman competitions. Number 13. Romério dos Santos Alves. Have you heard of Romério dos Santos Alves, the man who wanted to look like the Incredible Hulk? Well, he sure got the big muscles, but at what cost? Turns out, injecting your muscles with a cocktail of oil and alcohol, a horrific concoction known as synthol, is not the best idea. Who knew? With biceps measuring a whopping 25 inches, Romério was a sight to behold. But it wasn't just children who were scared of him. I bet even the Hulk himself would have been intimidated. And let's not forget about the toxins in that oil. As Romério found out, they can lead to some serious health problems. When doctors told him that they might need to amputate both his arms due to the rocks that had formed in his muscles, he knew he had taken things too far. But you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20. I'm sure he's wishing he had skipped the synthol and just stuck to lifting weights like a normal person. On the bright side, doctors were able to recover some of the rocks and save his arms. Now, if only they could remove the rocks from his head, he might be able to make some better decisions in the future. But hey, at least he's got a cool story to tell. How I almost lost my arms trying to look like a superhero. Number 12. Eddie Hall. Step right up, folks, and behold the man who can lift a boulder. Yes, we're talking about Eddie Hall, the mountain of muscle and legend of strength sports. This man is a powerhouse, a force to be reckoned with, and a sight to behold. He's won countless national and international competitions, including the World's Strongest Man in 2017, and even took on his arch nemesis, Hafthor Bjornsson, in a boxing match. But wait, there's more! Eddie Hall is now setting his sights on a new challenge, competitive bodybuilding. That's right, he's going to transform his already Herculean physique into a chiseled work of art. It takes more than just raw strength to sculpt a body like that. It takes discipline, dedication, and a whole lot of chicken breast. In a recent episode of the United States of America podcast, Eddie talks about his bodybuilding prep and hints at his upcoming competition. We can only imagine the kind of awe-inspiring physique he'll bring to the stage. The man is already a walking mountain range, so we can hardly conceive how ripped he'll be after putting his body through the bodybuilding ringer. All hail Eddie Hall, the strongman turned boxer turned bodybuilder. With muscles like his, we're pretty sure he could lift the whole darn gym. Number 11, Zydrunas Savickas. Move over, Arnold Schwarzenegger, because there's a new king of strength in town, and his name is Zydrunas Savickas. This Lithuanian powerhouse has a staggering 84 intentional wins under his belt, making him the undisputed champion of all strongmen. Savickas first got hooked on strength sports after watching a strongman contest on TV as a young boy. It wasn't long before he was competing himself and beating older, more experienced competitors. By age 17, he was already breaking records in powerlifting, and the victories kept coming for Savickas, including a mind-blowing 16 wins at Lithuania's Strongest Man contest. He's also set records like his impressive 20-meter farmer's walk with 330 pounds implemented in each hand. He's also won 5 Strongman Champions League events during the 2011 to 2012 season in Finland in March 2011 and Germany on April 16th, 2011. But perhaps the most impressive thing about Savickas is his longevity in the sport. He's been at it for decades and is still dominating the competition. This man is like the Energizer Bunny of strength sports. He just keeps going and going and going. So if you're feeling a little weak and feeble, just think of Zydrunas Savickas and be inspired to hit the gym like a beast. Number 10. Hafthor Bjornsson. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to talk about the Mountain, the strongest man ever to walk the earth. Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, born in Iceland in 1998, is a professional strongman who has left a trail of smashed records and defeated opponents in his wake. With 30 international competition wins under his belt, he's the third most decorated strongman in history, but let's be real, he's number 1 in our hearts. Hafthor has won the Arnold Strongman Classic, the Europe's Strongest Man, and the World's Strongest Man competitions in the same calendar year, a feat that no one has ever achieved. He's also held numerous strongman titles from multiple strength federations and is often referred to as simply Thor or the Mountain. But wait, there's more! Hafthor is also an actor and has played the fearsome Sir Gregor Clegane in HBO's Game of Thrones for 5 seasons. He's a true giant among men, standing at 6 foot 9 inches and weighing up to a whopping 463 pounds at his heaviest. Hafthor's athletic journey began on the basketball court, where he played as a center with a body weight of around 231 pounds. But after an ankle injury, he turned to bodybuilding and started training with some of the strongest men in Iceland. It wasn't long before 4-time World's Strongest Man Championship Magnus Ver Magnusson spotted Hafthor's deadlifting in the gym and knew he had found a diamond in the rough. And the rest, as they say, is history. Hafthor trained like a man possessed, growing bigger and stronger by the day until he became the unstoppable force we all know and love. In fact, he's so impressive that in March 2023, he was inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame. We can't wait to see what this mighty man will do next. Number 9. Andreas Munzer. Hey there, let's spice things up a bit and tell the story of Andreas Munzer, the Austrian bodybuilder who was renowned for his ultra-shredded physique. Back in 1989, Munzer entered the pro ranks and immediately turned heads with his paper-thin skin texture. He was so shredded, you could practically see the organs working overtime. By 1996, he had added 20 pounds of muscle while still maintaining that translucent look, making him arguably the most conditioned bodybuilder of his time. But things took a dark turn when Munzer complained of severe stomach pain and was rushed to the hospital. It turns out his liver and kidneys had failed and he was bleeding internally. Yikes! He passed away on March 14th, 1996 at the tender age of 31. It later emerged that Munzer had been using a lot of anabolic steroids and diuretics, which likely contributed to his untimely demise. He had also been dealing with severe abdominal pain for months leading up to death. But despite all that, he still managed to show up to competition competitions looking like a shredded god. Talk about dedication. In an interview that took place only a few days before his death, Munzer was asked if there was a secret to his ultra-ripped physique. His response? There is no secret. I follow a strict diet year-round, train consistently, and there is, of course, the genetics of my muscle fibers. Yeah, right. We all know the real secret was the steroids. Anyway, that's the tragic tale of Andreas Munzer. Let it be a cautionary reminder that excessive steroid use can have deadly consequences. Stay safe, people. Number 8. Dave Palumbo. Get ready to flex those muscles because we're talking about none other than Dave Palumbo, the retired American bodybuilder who rose to fame in the early 90s and early 2000s. Palumbo first hit the bodybuilding scene weighing in at a slim 168 pounds at his debut competition, but in just 5 years he managed to pack on a whopping 70 pounds and snag the overall title at the 1995 NPC Junior Nationals. Talk about gains! Although he never quite made it to the pro level, Palumbo's best showing came in 2003 at the NPC USA Championships, where he placed in second place in the super heavyweight class. Not too shabby. After retiring from competing, Palumbo became the editor-in-chief of Muscular Development magazine, but eventually left to start his own ventures. Today, he's the CEO of RxMuscle.com and owner of Species Nutrition, as well as a contest prep coach for NPC and IFBB competitors. One thing that sets Palumbo apart from other coaches is his low-carb approach to contest prep. Apparently, he's not a fan of bread and pasta. Who knew? Number 7. Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman, aka The King, is an American retired professional bodybuilder and a total beast. This man won the Mr. Olympia title 8 years in a row, and he's widely regarded as the greatest bodybuilder of all time, right up there with Arnold Schwarzenegger. With 26 IFBB professional titles under his belt, Coleman is famous for his size, conditioning, and prominent body parts, which made him the most dominant bodybuilding physique ever to grace the stage. Not to mention, his workout routines were so heavy that he was probably the strongest bodybuilder of all time. Before he became the king of bodybuilding, Coleman was a police officer in Arlington, Texas, serving the community from 1989 to 2000. It was a fellow officer who suggested he hit up the Metroflex gym, owned by amateur bodybuilder Brian Dobson. Dobson offered Coleman a free lifetime membership in exchange for training him for the upcoming 1990 Mr. Texas bodybuilding competition. After some serious training, Coleman won first place in both the heavyweight and overall categories, even beating out Dobson himself. The King's success didn't stop there. He won his first competition as a professional, the Canada Pro Cup, in 1995, and then went on to win the contest again the following year. Coleman continued to dominate, winning the 1997 Russian Grand Prix. If only we could be as strong as Ronnie, maybe we'd finally be able to open that jar of pickles in the fridge. Number 6. Mamdouh Elsbaye, Big Ramy. Mamdouh Mohammed Hassan Elsbaye, better known as Big Ramy, is an Egyptian IFBB professional bodybuilder and two-time Mr. Olympia champion. Before he started pumping iron, Big Ramy worked as a fisherman, but after moving to Kauai in 2009, he decided to dive into the world of bodybuilding. He quickly made a name for himself, winning the overall title at the 2012 Amateur Olympia in Kauai City and earning his pro card. Big Ramy's impressive physique had been years in the making, and he's not afraid to lift some serious weight to get there. In fact, he's been known to lift so much that the weights beg for mercy. Despite some setbacks, like testing positive for COVID-19 in 2020, Big Ramy has continued to dominate the bodybuilding scene, taking home the Mr. Olympia title in both 2020 and 2021. He is also a self-proclaimed devoted Muslim, but in a surprising turn of events, news broke in November 2021 that Big Ramy had tied the knot with his second wife without informing his first spouse. Unfortunately, the news wasn't just confined to the happy couple, and the first wife reportedly found out about the new marriage through the media. It seems like the cat is out of the bag, and Big Ramy has some explaining to do. Number 5. Shawn Rhoden. Shawn Rhoden, a legendary Jamaican-American IFBB professional bodybuilder and former Mr. Olympia, achieved incredible feats in his life. He earned the coveted title of Mr. Olympia in 2018 at the ripe age of 43 years and 5 months, making him the oldest title holder in Mr. Olympia history. Rhoden was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and later migrated to the United States, where he settled in Maryland. Despite battling alcohol addiction after the tragic death of his father in 2002, Rhoden persevered and emerged victorious. In 2015, Rhoden and his then partner, Michelle Sugar, welcomed their daughter and subsequently married in 2018. However, the marriage ended due to personal issues and accusations of infidelity. However, Rhoden also faced allegations of attacking a female in October 2018. He was charged in July 2019 with heinous crimes against the victim. The American Media LLC company, the organizing body for the Mr. Olympia contest, issued a statement banning Rhoden from future competitions, including the 2019 Mr. Olympia contest. Rhoden passed away from a heart attack on November 6, 2021. Number 4. Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is a former professional bodybuilder who dominated the competition for over a decade. He was inspired to start bodybuilding by his personal trainer and quickly established himself as a force to be reckoned with. Cutler won his first overall title at the 1993 Iron Bodies Invitational and continued to impress in subsequent competitions. He even appeared in bodybuilding-related videos, which showcased his preparation for the Mr. Olympia competition. Despite some bumps in the road, such as a positive test for banned diuretics at the 2001 Mr. Olympia, Cutler persevered and won his first Mr. Olympia title in 2006. He went on to win the prestigious competition 4 times, defeating the likes of Dexter Jackson and Phil Heath. His dominance in the bodybuilding world also earned him several magazine covers, including Muscle and Fitness, Flex, and Muscular Development. But he didn't stop there. He's now the proud owner of Cutler Nutrition, a bodybuilding supplement business, and has been involved in other successful ventures. While Cutler may no longer be competing, his impressive legacy lives on. And who knows, maybe he'll come out of retirement and show the young guns what's up. We can dream, can't we? Number 3. William Bonac. Looks like we have a bodybuilding story in our hands. Let's pump up some energy into it and make it as exciting as a bicep curl. William Bonac, the muscular wonder who has made a name for himself in the world of bodybuilding, has unfortunately announced a hiatus from competition after a disappointing 7th place finish at the 2023 Arnold Classic. Bonac, a 2-time champion, had his sights on a 3rd AC title, a feat only achieved by 4 other superhuman beings in the contest's 34-year history. Let's not get too down about it. We can still admire Bonac's impressive resume and killer build. He has competed in every Mr. Olympia since 2014 and even secured a runner-up spot in 2019. That's like coming in 2nd at the Olympics of bodybuilding. Despite his hiatus, Bonac's legacy lives on in the sport. His decision not to compete means we'll have to wait a bit longer to see his impressive physique grace the stage once again. But hey, in the meantime, let's do some reps in his honor. Number 2. Helmut Strebel. If you haven't heard of Helmut Strebel, you're missing out on one of the most shredded men on the planet. This Australian bodybuilder and fitness model has been nicknamed the most shredded man in the world. And it's not hard to see why. His muscles are so well defined that you can play connect the dots on his skin and come up with a perfect diagram of the human anatomy. Strebel's photos has been circulating online for years, and every time they go viral, people's jaws drop to the floor. It's almost unfair that someone can look that good and still be human. At 54 years old, Strebel is no longer in his prime physical shape, but he's still turning heads and inspiring others to hit the gym. So how did he achieve this shredded physique? According to Strebel, it started when he was a 12-year-old, and I quote, skinny weakling and an easy prey for bullies. He was inspired by a classmate who he described as a muscle machine, and he started lifting weights using 2 bottles of washing detergent filled with water. You bet nobody dares to bully him now. So the next time you're struggling through a workout, just remember, even the most impressive bodybuilders were once lifting bottles of detergent. Number 1. Greg Kovacs. Get ready to hear about the legendary Canadian bodybuilder Gregory Mark Kovacs, who was known for his massive size and impressive physique. Standing at a towering height of 6'4", Kovacs was a true giant of the bodybuilding world. Get this, he had an off-screen weight of a whopping 420 pounds, which is more than most people's entire families combined. He started off studying electrical engineering in college before realizing that his true passion was bodybuilding, and boy did he pursue that passion with a vengeance. He was known for his 25-inch arms, 70-inch chest, and 35-inch legs. Truly a feat of human strength and muscle. However, his life was not without its controversies. In 2010, Kovacs was charged with extortion after a supplement store owner reported that he was being extorted by Kovacs and his associates. Sadly, Kovacs passed away in 2013 from heart failure, but his legacy lives on. He will always be remembered as one of the biggest and most impressive bodybuilders of all time. As you can see, being a living sculpture always comes at a very steep price. Almost all bodybuilders die very young and of horrific health complications. Knowing all that, would you become a bodybuilder if you had the chance? Tell us all about it. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now. We'll see you next time then, folks. This is Jake, the world's strongest man. I mean, Jake the Voice Pass signing off. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.